In the last episode, we roamed Izmir's streets, connected with locals who gave our shaky plans a much-needed boost, and savored the city's vibrant culture. Before we start though, we've prepared subtitles in both Romanian and English for you. Make sure to have them on. Back to our video. Mihai didn't get much shut-eye last night, rolling in at 4 in the morning. See how that went down in the previous episode.
Duminică dimineața în Izmir. Da.
Now, we're up early and ready to ride.
Bun, acestea fiind spuse, hai să mergem.
The roads are empty. Guess everyone's sleeping in on this Sunday morning.
Oh, dar ce liber e traficul. Elegant.
The day's mission is to make our way to Selçuk and check out the famous ruins of Ephesus. But first, we're taking the scenic route, tackling some dirt paths just outside Izmir. Then, we trade the silent streets for the call of the wild. As we pivot towards the off-road trails, we're greeted by the rugged embrace of the landscape. Each turn is a narrative, every incline, a new chapter. This isn't just a journey, it's a dialogue with the earth beneath our tires. With Mihai at the helm, we're not just passing through, we're listening to the whispered secrets of the back roads that lead to Selçuk. We pull over at a scenic overlook, unwrapping a gas station treasure, a triangle sandwich that with the view he's got, might as well be a 5-star meal. Who needs a fancy restaurant when you've got the world's beauty as your dining room? The glinting sea comes into view, hinting at the possibility of a serene beach camp. But the reality is far from tranquil. The sands are bustling with life, a Sunday retreat for families. While the idea of pitching the tent is appealing, the festive atmosphere is better suited for picnics and sandcastles, not the solitary peace we're chasing. With a nod to the reveling families, we decide it's best not to intrude on their patch of paradise. With Selçuk in our sights, we turn our backs to the sea. Ephesus awaits. Mihai finds us a no-frills but clean hotel right in the middle of Selçuk. It's pretty basic, but it's got a big yard that's safe for parking.
500 de lire mai ieftin decât orice cazare din oraș. Simplu și eficient.
All the cool places to visit have already shut their doors for the day, so we're putting our tourist hats on hold until tomorrow. Mihai's stomach leads the way to some food first. Once he's not starving anymore, he heads into town. There's a big noise coming from the streets, like there's a big crowd or a protest. But when we get there, it's just a speaker, blaring election music and slogans to absolutely nobody. We wrapped up the evening sooner than usual. Though one might think it was to compensate for the scant hours of rest from the night before, Mihai maintains it was to strategize for the upcoming journey to Ephesus. Surprisingly enough, looks like Mihai did his homework after all, plotting out a strategic path to explore the wonders of Ephesus.
Hai că am lămurit-o și pe asta cu Ephesul. Citisem pe un site ieri că cel mai bine ar fi să iei un taxi de aici, care să te lase la poarta din nord și să încep vizita de acolo, pentru că de acolo cobori spre intrare, practic, spre cealaltă intrare unde e parcarea mare unde am fost ieri și unde te lasă de obicei minibusul, hotelul, de unde încep toate tururile mari. Am vorbit și cu patronul de aici, omul mi-a recomandat același lucru, ceea ce pare a fi rețeta câștigătoare, așa că mâncăm ceva rapid aici. Micul dejun de la hotel a fost, să zicem, ușor dezamăgitor. Mâncarea era învelită așa cu o folie, adică era oarecum o porție și sub folia aia era un gândecel în farfuria pe care mi-a luat-o eu. Folie, you had one job, și gândecelul ăla aparent voia să iasă de acolo, nu cred că îi plăcea nici lui mâncarea, așa că am abandonat ideea și pentru 100 de lire, echivalent la 20 de lei, prefer să beau un ceai și să mănânc aici și să o iau spre centru, să găsesc un taxi care ar trebui să fie undeva la 4-5 euro până la poarta de nord, așa zicea omul ăsta. Băgăm un ceiuț ca turcii dimineața și hai să vedem și ce-i cu Ephesul ăsta. Am zis că e foarte fain. Vedem!
After entering Ephesus through the surprisingly well-guarded Magnesia Gate, the northern entrance, Mihai peels off a layer, surrendering to the early heat that wraps around the ancient stones. It's a bright new day, and a hot one at that, perfect for exploring.
Crezi că doamna îmi face mie poze cum schimb.
Back in the day, Ephesus was one of the few cities, like Rome and Antioch, to have streets lit up at night. Right here, the street of the Quirites was more than just a path. It was where people hung out after dark, all thanks to those early streetlights. First on our list is the Odeon of Ephesus. This was a rare find in the ancient world, a covered theater when most others were open to the skies. This architectural marvel could shelter spectators from the elements, a luxury that wasn't common back then. While most amphitheaters basked in the open air, Ephesus had the foresight to put a lid on theirs, making cultural events a year-round, all-weather affair. Ephesus was a major player back in its heyday. It was like the New York City of the ancient world, bustling and full of life. This city was an important cultural, religious, and economic center, standing shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Athens, Rome, and Alexandria. What set Ephesus apart was its harbor, which was once one of the busiest in the ancient world, making the city a central hub in the trade routes. It was also home to the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, attracting pilgrims and tourists long before the concept of tourism was even a thing. The city was also a hotbed of early Christianity and was even mentioned in the Bible, where the Apostle Paul sent one of his epistles. Ephesus had the 3rd largest library of the ancient world, the Library of Celsus, which shows just how much knowledge and culture were valued there. In terms of urban planning and architecture, Ephesus was ahead of its time with advanced street grid systems and public buildings that would impress even modern standards. It's no wonder Ephesus was considered one of the great cities of the ancients, with influence that reached far beyond its borders.
Da, uite ce frumos. Așa arată când tata e un dictator roman și tu ești nepotul. Se face un monument ăsta frumos. Astea cred că erau cadourile pe vremuri. Îți făceau un monument. Da, se pare că a fost combinație cu accesul pe la poarta din nord, pentru că se pare că jos sunt atracțiile principale și toată lumea se petrecește acolo. Și faptul că acum cobori e urcă.
He was the father of Trajan, Kaiser, Caesar. They built a nice fountain in his honor. Trajan's fountain.
Trajan's Fountain was a cool hangout spot in old Ephesus. It was a big deal because it had water shooting out of it when most folks had to haul their water in buckets. Right in the middle, they had this huge statue of Emperor Trajan. It was the place to be if you wanted to catch up on gossip or just chill by the water in the middle of the city. Plus, the fountain was like a big, wet thumbs up to Roman tech skills. They knew how to make water flow without any modern plumbing.
Da, și garajul ăla cred că tot al lui a fost. De saună ceva. numai glumă, dar e deja călduț. Îmi dai seama cum o să vizitez pe aici în iunie, iulie, august.
Ben en son gezmeyi sevdim güzel yani.
Right in front of the Temple of Hadrian, Mihai attempts the impossible, a clear shot without the tourist brigade. Seems the only warriors tougher than the Amazons etched in stone are these photo-loving visitors who've staked their claim firmly in front of the temple. No budging, no shifting, just pure touristic tenacity. But don't worry, Mihai's got a trick up his sleeve.
Hai că ne-am înțeles și aici. Am vrut să fac o poză la arcada acolo și era un grup de doamne care se tot căcăiau, se tot învârteau, care să facă poza, care să apară, cum să stea, că numai nu-i stătea bine baticul, nu-i stăteau bine ochelarii, în fine. Și am zis până la urmă, băi, ca să nu faceți 20 de poze fiecare cu fiecare, dă-mi mie telefonul, faceți poze toate odată și gata, îmi faceți și mie o poză după aia singur. Numai că nu știu ce au înțeles ele și până la urmă mi-au luat telefonul meu, dar nu s-au dat la o parte doamnele. Da. Scoatem un Photoshop pe doamnă. Hai, să vedem ce mai aici.
The public latrines of Ephesus, a place of social gathering and, well, necessity. Back in the day, privacy wasn't much of a thing, and going to the bathroom was a communal affair. Picture a row of stone seats with holes, a spot where Ephesians would sit and chat while taking care of business. In the middle, a grand fountain not only provided a nice view, but also helped with the ambient aromas. It's a far cry from today's private bathroom stalls. Back in the day, a trip to the loo was more of a social event.
Deci aparent aici era și un canal cu apă care spăla tot ce rămânea în urmă.
Once upon a time, Ephesus was a bustling port city, hugging the sea's edge. But by around the 7th century AD, the Kastros River, known today as Kukuk Menderes, had other plans. It kept spilling silt into the harbor, clogging it up. Over time, the city got cut off from the sea, turning into a swamp. Mosquitoes loved it, but people sure didn't, especially when malaria hit hard. By the 15th century, the folks of Ephesus had had enough. They packed up and left, taking about 100 years to clear out.
Am zis să fac o mică pauză, să stau un pic la umbră și aparent am nimerit la întrunirea ghidelor. Toate doamnele de aici sunt ghide și cred că fac mișto de turiști. Care supărate tare. O idee bună să fii la și o umbrelă de asta.
Sadece yemek var, yemekten sonra göndereceğim.
Da, bine că n-am luat dron.
Mihai steps up to the entrance of the library of Celsus, ready to walk through the pages of history. This stunning library was once the third largest in the ancient world, home to an estimated 12,000 scrolls. Its two-story facade, reconstructed from the original pieces, still stands tall as a testament to Ephesian love for knowledge and splendor.
Pare traită. Știu și eu ce să zic despre lespezile alea de sus de acolo. Hai să vedem cum e și noi.
Just like in old days, the library of Celsus is where it's all action, just like back in the day. Nowadays, it's less about scrolls and more about swipes. Kids with phones are everywhere, proof that the thirst for knowledge hasn't gone out of style. They're the modern-day scholars, scrolling through information with the swipe of a finger. After a quick tour and a wave goodbye to the digital age librarians, he heads out, stepping down the well-worn steps to move on to the Agora. As Mihai leaves the buzzing crowd of the 21st century phone wielders in the library of Celsus, he steps through the gate of Masius and Mithridates. This isn't just any old entryway, it's a grand passage built by two grateful slaves, celebrating their freedom from chains.
Mereu mă gândesc când văd clădiri din astea sau structuri foarte vechi. Ele arată impresionant acum, știi? Dar mă gândesc cum or fi arătat pe vremea respectivă pentru omul normal sau pentru țăranul care de-abia avea o casă de un etaj sau două. Dă-ți seama cum ar fi fost, cât de impresionant era să vină aici și să vadă genul ăsta de structuri foarte înalte, foarte sofisticate pentru vremea aia.
This is the Agora, the heart of Ephesian hustle where traders once bartered goods and stories under the Mediterranean sun. Back in the days when Ephesus' great theater was all the rage, the whole world was buzzing with big moves. Over in Rome, the empire was living its best life with a whole lot of peace and some seriously epic buildings like the Colosseum popping up. Meanwhile, the Silk Road was like the ancient version of the internet, connecting traders from Rome all the way to China. Speaking of China, the Han Dynasty was killing it with their own brand of awesomeness. It's wild to think that while folks were cheering in Ephesus, on the other side of the world, they were laying bricks for Hadrian's Wall in Britain, and pyramids were going up in Central America. The world is a small place. The big amphitheater in Ephesus was like the main event place, loud and packed. Lots of noise, lots of action. Now, the Odeon was more like a cozy little theater. It was for music or when the town leaders had to talk about important stuff. So you had the big, wild shows at the amphitheater and the serious, sit-down stuff at the Odeon. Both were cool spots in the old days of Ephesus.
Ce interesant, pietrele astea sunt echivalentul antic al bornelor. Ele erau puse pe drum și indicau distanțele. Iar inscripționate pe ele era și numele împăratului care a construit drumul, dar și numele celor care întrețineau drumul, adică să știi pe cine să înjuri, cum ar veni. Și iar ca să le facă mai vizibile, literele erau vopsite cu roșu. Interesant. Cam asta a fost la Efes. Am avut mare noroc că am evitat târgul de turiști. Și acum cred că se iau minibusul către oraș și după aceea mergem la muzeu. Am înțeles că acolo mi-au zis vreo două persoane că e foarte fain. Să vedem ce și pe acolo și apoi mai sunt niște chestii în oraș pe care o să vreau să le văd. Wow, am stat un bazar. Niște ochelari de ăștia frumoși. De ăștia chiar am nevoie. Pa, minunat. Cât costă? How much?
Lira dolar euro?
Lira.
250 lira.
Yes, ok. Thank you.
Sıkıntı yok. Bak 250 lira. Buyur abi. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
250.
You know why? You know why?
No.
First listen to me.
Okay.
Before the COVID corona before, I buy for this one 150 lira. I sell 175 lira. But after COVID, wholesaler coming, they said, my friend, this one 200 lira. When I sell you 250, I win 50 lira. And then, you thinking, when I win 50 lira, I give tax for government, shop is rent, electric, maybe too much you thinking, but you know, 250 is good price.
Cumva omul ăsta m-a luat la sentiment când a început cu taxe și cu astea, așa că hai.
This one.
Hai, rămân.
Yeah.
Because when you said about taxes and all that, I totally understand.
Listen, I don't have, black color hair. I make this job long time.
I'm starting.
You're handsome man. This is a good one.
Se pare că în parcarea asta sunt numai autocare și busuri de turiști. Transportul comun, cum ar veni, până la Selçuk, e undeva acolo după barieră. Așa că hai să vedem cum ajungem înapoi. Ia uite și caleașul frumos. Adevărul e că până la Selçuk sunt câțiva kilometri. 3 jumate. Și ghirlande de Crăciun. Se intre pe tine ăștia. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine. And you?
Very well. I'm looking for the Selçuk minibus.
Yes, yeah.
The station is there?
Minibus.
Okay.
Bus station.
Thank you very much. This one?
Yeah.
Thank you. Ia, uite-mă la fix. Hai, minibusul de Selçuk.
Are you going from here? Do you know
From
already?
here, I try to make as few plans as possible.
Yes, me too.
But from here I want to go to, I kind of don't remember the name now. It's a village which is about 10 kilometers away from here.
Yeah.
An old kind of ancient village, and from there I want to go further east to Pamukkale.
Yes, that's where I'm heading to as well.
Yeah, but I'll try to like ride short distances. Not I kind of hurried on the way here, and trying to make it as fun as possible, because on that bike you can't really travel long distances in one go.
Nah.
And technically you can, but I'd rather not.
No, I understand. No, but I got here as fast as I could, so doing like 500 or 600 kilometers a day, which is more than enough.
Yeah.
And but now I do like 150 or 200, something like that.
That's what I'm trying to do as well. And same Pisica neagră, tu te găsi mă pe prin strada. Ce faceți mă cățelușilor? Mamă, toți cății s-au adunat aici. Wow! Hai vină încoa, că ne împrietenim din nou. Hai. Hai, ia, ești prin prietenis. Ai văzut mă că nu e așa rău. Se speria degeaba, mă. Pua, nu mă linge pe bot. No, it's ok. V-a speriat degeaba, mă, mai ales unde e aia neagră? Tu te-ai speriat degeaba ca o pisică obosită. Torcariciu e fericit, are lanțul uns. Ia uite, încă un motor. Mamă, dar s-a urcat până în... Unde dracu? L-a urcat pe rampă. Eu de ce n-am făcut asta? Uite frumoasele. Kawasaki, Ninja. Se trage în plapuma peste o nouă noapte.
Hope you loved this episode as much as we loved sharing it. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more of our adventures. In our next episode, our journey takes us to the charming village of Celsus, but not without a slight oopsie that leaves us in a bit of a scramble. After dusting off, Mihai and Remco explore the ancient wonders of Hierapolis.
You can put it in one of your panniers.
Yeah, do the walk.
Then it's off to the dazzling white terraces of Pamukkale. Mihai tries some alternate means of transportation.
Parasailing, what it's called?
Adventures in the air, literally. Stay tuned.